Angie's Ride Home, a digital story. Dear Diary, the strangest thing happened on my way home from school today. It seemed like my brain was going all on its own, and my imagination was just running away with me. Let me tell you what happened. It started off like any normal day. When the bell rang, I said goodbye to my friends and got on my bike to go home. My last class of the day had been science, so I was still thinking about what we had discussed in class. Mrs. Jones had been talking about cells. She told us that all living things were made of cells, and that cells had even smaller parts called organelles. Organelles are just like organs that we have in our body. She told us that each organelle had a different job to do in the cell, and that we would be learning about what each of those organelles did. Just as I was thinking about all this, I rode past the post office near my house. Hey, I thought, that post office is just like the Golgi apparatus that Mrs. Jones was telling us about in the cell. See, the Golgi apparatus is the part of the cell that packages things up and sends them to other parts of the cell, just like a post office does for us when we want to send packages to other places. Then I started riding past the power plant. I thought, if the Golgi apparatus is like a post office, then the mitochondria are just like a power plant. The mitochondria in a cell are responsible for making energy for the cell called ATP, just like a power plant makes energy for our houses. By this time I was almost home, so I turned to go through the gate to my neighborhood. Then it hit me. Our neighborhood gate is just like the cellular membrane of a cell. The membrane of a cell has what's called selective permeability, which lets some things in and keeps other things out of the cell, just like the gate to my neighborhood lets some cars in but keeps other cars out. Then I realized as I was walking beside my bike to go through the gate that the spokes on my bike wheels are a lot like the cytoskeleton of a cell. The cytoskeleton is what makes the cell keep its shape, just like the spokes on my bike wheel make the wheel keep its round shape. I didn't know there were so many ways my neighborhood was like a cell. I can't wait to see Mrs. Jones again tomorrow so that I can tell her all the things I noticed on my ride home from school today.